We are talking about some video editing tools today, you guys. This is a great topic, and I appreciate you guys being here today. The one thing that I would tell you is you might want to take some notes. The other thing that I'm going to tell you that's going to be a little bit unique with this webinar, because we're talking about some specific tools, I'm going to, at the end of this, I'm going to create links and put it in a document that's going to go to the tools that I've found, so that you don't have to go doing searches for them, that you can actually go directly to. And all of these that I found, you guys, are on Amazon. So if you don't shop Amazon, that's okay. At least you'll know what you're looking for with brand names and different things like that. But anyway, so that's what we are going to be talking about today. So let's kind of walk through just real quickly. This is some of the basics of what we're going to be talking about today. So this just gives you kind of a quick rundown of what I'm going to be talking about. By the way, make sure you're using the chat box today, folks. Cindy and I are both on this call. This gives you an opportunity. So if you do have a question or comment, please plug it in. You know, we'll be watching for those as much as we can. We want to make this interactive with you guys. So, but anyway, let's go ahead and talk about this, what the rundown of the presentation is. What we're going to be looking at is the basics of and the tools that are involved with that, and some of the things that you would likely want to invest in to make high quality, low cost marketing videos for your real estate business. That's really what this presentation is completely geared towards. Okay, so the first part we're going to be doing, you guys, we're going to be doing an introduction. So my assumption is that you wouldn't be on this call if you didn't see a need or have a desire for you to get involved in doing video and finding a way to do quality video. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some basics about some other things that will probably even heighten your attention that you're giving to this as a marketing tool, because video absolutely is the most valuable and most powerful marketing tool we have available to us right now today. So other than face-to-face, sorry, I didn't mean to take away from that, folks. Really, it's you face-to-face that's the best marketing tool. But second is video. So that's going to be my introduction. Then we're going to go through some video shooting basics, some of the things that you need to be kind of paying attention to when you're shooting video, so that you know how to do it and do it without putting a bunch of video pollution out there. And there's a whole ton of that on the internet, as you guys know. We're going to talk about 3 key ingredients that are involved in doing good video. That's audio, video, and lighting, okay? We're going to talk about some editing programs. And then the last part is once you've got a video created, so what? What do I do now with this thing? Okay, I've got it, Dave. This is great, man. So what do I do? What do you want me to do with it now? What we're going to talk about is just some of the quick basics that are involved in making sure that you're using video then to invest in your audience, to communicate to them, to tell them your story, and to be able to separate yourself from the rest of the competition that's out there. Okay, so let's go ahead and take this to the next one. So here's an introduction to video marketing. Okay, real estate video marketing is, and actually, like I said, it's one of the most powerful tools we can use in marketing your real estate business. People only do business with people that they like, that they know, that they like, that they trust, and that they remember. Okay, all 3 of these things can come into play when you're using video as a marketing tool, because it allows people to know who you are. You can see them. See, like right now, you guys can see me. You can see that I'm excited about this topic and I enjoy talking about it. So you can, hopefully you like me, you know, and you can learn to trust the message because they can see you, they can hear you. By the way, all of you are investing in a video that's being created right now. So, okay. Webinars is absolutely one of the ways that you can communicate through video. So anyway, know, like, trust, and then the other part is remember. We're going to talk about some statistics about remembering, folks, that will blow your mind. But people remember video. They absolutely do, okay? So it's also the easiest way to make sure that your business is visible online, to build credibility within your real estate audience, okay? And then create a brand that people will not forget. Those are the things that make video powerful as a marketing tool. So let's talk about some statistics about video marketing as we're going into 2020, okay? These are powerful, you guys. These are some of the research that I did just recently. And one of the things that I will tell you that I pride myself on is staying on top of the topics that I coach and teach and am involved with when it comes to the way the training that I do, whether it's with real estate agents on Cindy Bishop Worldwide training, or some of the other places that I do this, you guys. But it really is, I feel like it's very important for me to do that. So I a lot of times will invest time before I put together any of these presentations just to check and say, okay, what are the new things that are going on? What are the things that have changed? What do I need to update in any presentation that I do? Let's take a look at this. By 2022, the number of videos crossing the internet per second will approach 1 million. That's kind of almost staggering. It is staggering. It's frightening almost. That's huge. Translating into, and this is a more significant statistic, you guys. This is one you can wrap your head around, and that's 82% of all online traffic is going to be video, and it's approaching that now. You know, the statistic that I've heard recently as far as 2018, 2019 is roughly about 78%, okay, of internet traffic is video. The next one, video consumption on mobile devices rises at a whopping 100% per year. What makes that statistic even more significant, I believe, is the fact that almost everybody has one. So when you consider the huge number of phones, of smartphones that are out there, and knowing that video is increasing at that rapid of a rate, that it's literally doubling every year, the amount of people the amount of times people are viewing video on their mobile phones is another staggering statistic. 99% of marketers will continue using video in their approach in the following year. My question with that is, what's wrong with the 1%? Yeah, what's up with these guys? Anyway, 88% are going to devote more resources to video marketing this year. So that's a key part, is to recognize more and more people are realizing this is where they need to put their business. They need to make sure that they're using video as a way to communicate to their audience, okay? The next one, 78% of people, of us, watch online videos weekly, 55% daily. Viewers retain, this is the one I was telling you about earlier, you guys, viewers retain 95% of a message when they view it on video. That's powerful. That's really powerful. You send them an email, they're going to forget it. You send them a postcard, they're going to forget that stuff, or they're just going to put it in the recycling. All of those different things that you do, you put out a newsletter. Nothing against newsletters, but you might want to turn it into a video, folks. Make it a video newsletter, because people are more likely to retain the message when it is in a video, okay? So that's something to consider when you're looking at all the ways that you market yourself now, looking at the things that you do in print and go, is there a way that I can translate that into video, okay? So next one, reports say that an engaged audience will drop what they're doing to view a video. Now I'm talking to a bunch of people, you guys. All of you represent these statistics that I'm sharing with you. And I'm sure that most of you can relate to that. If there's a video that's engaging to you with something that you're interested in, you're more likely to say, okay, I'm going to take a few minutes and take a look at this, okay? I find myself doing that frequently. The next one, users will spend 88% more time on a website that has video. That's another really powerful one, you guys, to recognize that your website could be that much more effective if you're making sure that you have video on there, that you're communicating your story using video, okay? The next one, 65% of all senior executives will visit a site related to a video that they saw on YouTube, okay? That doesn't, your audience isn't necessarily senior executives. Some of you, that might be the audience you're trying to attract. But the bottom line is, folks, is to recognize that people at that level, that's what they're doing, okay? So let's move on. These are the basics of video, okay? When you consider putting together a good quality video, 3 things that you need to consider are these. The sound, the audio. 2nd, the video itself. And 3 is the lighting, okay? Those are 3 considerations. So before you get ready to shoot, part of your planning needs to be, what's the audio going to be in this particular environment where I'm shooting, okay? The next one is, what do I need to do to make sure that I've got my video part set up, you know, so that it's not bouncing, so that that people are able to watch it and not be distracted by things going on around. And the last one is lighting. Okay, lighting is such an important feature. So let's go ahead and get into these. So what I'd like to do then, you guys, then is start, like it says here, with the most important tools that you need to produce high quality videos. And you already likely own all three of these. Number one, you need to have a message. If you don't have a message, then don't make the video, right? You guys all have a message. I know you do, because you're all in real estate. You all have a desire to be successful with this, and you all know what the way that you want to be able to communicate that to people. So that your message is important. The enthusiasm that you show about your message is just as important. Okay, so people that are engaged in this, people that are involved in it, people that are excited about their topic are more likely to keep an audience and keep them engaged and have them watching that video longer when they are enthusiastic. And the last one, you've got it. All of you guys have a smartphone, you know? So that's really all you need. You can go and invest in some expensive camera equipment if you like, and people will do that. I've known real estate agents that have gone out and invested thousands of dollars on some really high quality equipment, and that's not a bad thing. But you know what? The one that you have that really does shoot incredibly, you know, high quality video is your phone. Okay, most of us have up-to-date phones. So anyway, let's move on with this, you guys. So let's talk about the different, going back to the audio, video, and lighting part of this message, okay? First thing you need to consider then is audio. Now, like this says here, today's video audience, we will put up with poor quality. You know, we'll put up with somebody that might be moving a little bit with their camera, you know, but we will skip by a video if the sound quality is bad. And I think most of you can relate to that. Again, these things that I'm telling you guys are common sense, but they become common sense when you actually consider it and go, okay, how do I make sure that I solve that problem before I start shooting, right? Okay, so that's the thing to consider, and recognize that we're likely to skip by a video if the sound quality is bad. And I've done that a lot, okay? If I can't hear it, I'm moving on. So here's my little war cry for today, folks, is we need to all advocate against video pollution. There's a ton of it out there. Let's make sure we're not, you know, putting video pollution on the internet. Okay? So let's talk about this. The issues that need to be resolved for audio are the sound of your voice, number one, and or the sounds that help you tell your story. If part of your story is going to be music in the background, the sound of a piece of equipment, who knows what it is? You know, you guys know what the sounds might be. But if there's sounds that are involved in that, for instance, if you're shooting outside and you want to be able, you're talking about a neighborhood because of the quietness of the neighborhood and how serene that it is, to be able to hear birds chirping and not hear airplanes becomes a very important part of the message, right? It's helping you tell the story, right? So anything else that can be a distraction, will be a distraction, I should say, if you're not managing the sounds that are in your video environment, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Here's a couple of tools to consider, all right? Number one is a lapel microphone. Again, I'm going to have links to these things, you guys. This is something you can get. You can get either a wired one, which is what I use, and the one that I got that's $22 literally has a long cord. I think the cord itself is probably like about 12 to 15 feet. And then it has a 79-foot extension on it. I mean, it's incredible. So you can take this thing and move around if you need to. Or you can get a wireless one, and they're a little bit more expensive because they are wireless, okay? I've just found to have the best success using a wired lapel microphone. And the idea behind that is then I could stick that microphone right up next to my chin, and so that the sound of my voice is coming across, okay? The other thing to think about, folks, and you see me wearing it right now, is this headset that I've got on. This headset allows me to, and this is a USB headset with an attached microphone. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put the price on here. This particular one, I spent $28 for this thing. Okay, no, actually it was $18. And what this does is this allows me to be able to talk to you like I am right now, okay? I can hear well, but it also gives me a microphone that is able to communicate, and it goes directly into the computer. One thing that I would tell you is to consider the fact that with your video studio, okay, let's put it that way, that you need to consider both of these things. The lapel microphone is something you can take with you anywhere you go, okay? This, for the desktop, the reason I suggest this is that you're going to have a lot of your videos that you're going to be able to do right at your desk, okay, with your computer. Now, all of you probably have computers that have microphones built into them. Here's the reason I would suggest going ahead and investing the $18 in this cute headset that I have on right now, you guys, is the fact that those microphones on the computer have a bit of distance between the sound of your voice and the computer itself, okay? That distance, there can be sound that's involved in that can be a distraction, okay? And I've actually witnessed this because of the webinars that we've done where we had one of our speakers did one of these and actually was using the microphone on her computer. And the bottom line is the sound quality was not nearly as effective as it was when she was able to engage with the microphone, which we were able to get taken care of. So, okay, so those are a couple of investments to consider. All right, the next one, let's look at video. You have the tool that's the most important one for this, your smartphone. Okay, so let's address some of these video shooting basics that I talked about earlier. Okay, so again, be an advocate against video pollution. Put out good, high quality videos, you guys. It's going to move your business. Absolutely. Okay. So first thing, shoot your video in landscape mode, right? See my phone? Landscape, not portrait. Okay. And that's really important. In fact, some of you that do Facebook Live videos, that was the way video live or Facebook Live always was done. It was always done in portrait mode. But they've actually changed it so that you can actually do landscape because they know that video is viewed better in landscape mode. The quality of the image is better. You can control it a lot better, and it fits most of the formats that people are going to be viewing it on and what they prefer viewing it on. Okay, so that's the first one: is do the video in landscape, not portrait mode. Framing. That's another thing that's important to recognize, you guys, is fill the frame with your subject when you can. So, you know, you can see my face. That's good. That's the subject of the video that you see up in the corner. The bottom line is, though, you guys, is you want to make sure that you're also considering the fact that you can have visual elements around a subject that will capture that can capture some sort of a frame within it. Might be visual elements behind you, a wall, a window, you know, a door, something like that. But literally what you want to be looking for is the elements before you get to shoot, is find the places where there's a frame that helps people stay focused on the subject, whatever that subject is that you're shooting, okay? So the next one, some of you guys that have been to these video seminars with me before have heard me talk about this, but it's a rule called the rule of thirds. And literally what that's doing is you're dividing your screen. You can see my fingers up there. You're dividing your screen into 9 squares, literally equal size, equal spaces. They are thirds vertically, 1, 2, 3, and thirds horizontally, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that creates those 9 different squares. Now, what you will see is if you put the subject matter squarely right in the middle of the screen, like I'm doing right now with my face, it's a lot less engaging and a lot less interesting, and they've done studies on this, you guys, than it is if you're putting yourself and putting the subject in one of those thirds, like I'm doing with my face right now. Okay, so that's the way you want to be able to do it. There's a grid on the left and a grid on the right that, you know, instead of putting it at dead center, that makes it a lot more interesting visual for people to engage with. Now, the last thing that I will talk about here as far as some of these video basics, you guys, is watch out for using things like zoom, flash, and backlighting. Let's talk about that for just a quick second. Here's the thing. Your phones make incredible that make incredible cameras, both for capturing still and video, okay? But there are things about your phones that aren't nearly as the same kind of quality as what you're going to get from a camera, okay? So when you're trying to zoom, for instance, with a phone, that never really works really well. And even with a good camera, you guys, zoom can be a distraction. When you're zooming in and out of a particular thing, that can be distracting more than it can actually tell the story, okay? The other thing is avoid using flash. Here's the reason why. The flash on a camera, it creates more of it's still artificial light, but it is not, it's more natural than the kind of flash that you're going to get from the LEDs that they use inside a phone, okay? So, you know, we all have flash on there, but you guys have probably seen the pictures that you do with flash with your phones aren't nearly the same kind of quality as when you use flash with a camera, okay? Now, I will tell you, for those of you that have gone ahead and invested in the new, you know, Apple iPhone 11, you know, that it does have some really high quality, you know, the fisheye and the wide lens and all those other kinds of fancy things that they have with the 3 different camera angles that you can use on that. The last thing to watch out for, you guys, is backlighting. Now, I will tell you, I've tried to, and you guys can see a little bit of a distraction in the back behind me. I've got a window that I've got, you know, the blinds are down and all that kind of stuff, as I'm trying to avoid the backlighting that is created there. But what you want to avoid is where that backlighting literally puts your face in shadow. If I put this light that I've got pointed at my face right now, if I put it behind me, you guys would have a difficult time seeing me, seeing my face, being able to engage with me. And that, again, the value of this, you guys, in being able to communicate effectively through video is you and your message and your enthusiasm, like we talked about. So your story, your message, and, you know, good video techniques. The bottom line is, you guys, if they can't see your face, if they can't engage with you, then they're missing it. You know, they really are. They're not going to be able to engage with you nearly as well as if they can see who you are, see your eyes, see what you're communicating through your face. Okay. So, watch out for things like backlighting. So when you're shooting outside, that's one thing you really want to consider, is if you have a really strong source of light behind you, like the sun, you know, that's going to put a shadow right here in the front, and it's going to make it hard for people to see. All right. So enough of that. Here's the next thing to consider when we talk about video, you guys, is what I like to call video stabilizers. Okay. Now, like it says here, to avoid holding your phone, which is nice, you know, you can hold it in selfie mode, but the bottom line is pretty soon it's going to start getting jittery and moving around and all that kind of stuff. All right. So it can make the video bounce and it can lose focus on the subject. So you want to use tools that can help with that. All right. One of the first ones is what it's called an octo tripod. So if you do a search for that, you'll see these real quickly. You can maybe see the one that I have here, and it's kind of in the image that is on the slide, you guys. But the way they call it, the reason they call it an octo one is you can see it's got really short legs on it. I can set it up on my desktop. The other thing I can do, though, is I can bend these cute little legs, and they're really sturdy even after you bend them, and I can wrap it around. Like if I'm outside, I'll wrap it around a chair, or if I wrap it around a limb of a tree, or I can wrap it around whatever I need to, and then I can have, with this stabilizer piece on the top where I can fit my phone inside there, that actually allows me then to be able to stabilize my phone and then shoot from there. Okay. So and like I said, this is $23. All right. The other thing to consider is anything that you can rest your phone on without it moving. You know, if you need to, use a stack of books, use a shelf, use a whatever you can, but, you know, find something that's going to allow you to elevate the phone or put the phone in exactly the right position without it moving around. That's really what you're trying to accomplish, okay? But some of these tools can be helpful, and the tools that I'm sharing with you guys are very inexpensive. Now, the one that I will tell you that is a little pricier, it's not that bad, but is for moving video. And that is a tool called a gimbal. I just recently purchased one. I've got it for $120. You can kind of see it in my you know, the image that you have here. This is a gimbal, okay? And what it allows me to do, you guys, it's such an incredible tool. It really is. I've loved learning how to use this and how to play with it. But literally what I could, it's almost like the best way to describe it, because it's a gyroscopic stabilizer, okay? So what I do when I put my phone inside this gimbal, I attach it in here. What I'm able to do then is tap the phone, tell the phone, this is the subject matter that I want you to focus in on inside the camera, okay? And literally, wherever I move this gimbal, it's going to follow that to exactly where I'm going to put it, so that I can actually, you can create an environment with the gimbal, you guys, that is like having a drone inside a home, you know? So when you're showing a home, like for instance, if you've got somebody that you found a house, this is the one you want to show them. They're not available to see it right now, but you know this is a really hot piece of property. You can say, look, let me tell you the reason why I want you to see this. You plug that baby in and you start walking them around that house to show them the features that they've been looking for, okay? This is just an example of how you might want to use this thing, but it really, really is a powerful tool. I love this thing. Like I said, I'm learning how to use it. It's very effective. And like I said, what it does is it allows you to have a stabilized situation. So like if you're walking through a neighborhood, you can then walk through the neighborhood without your phone bouncing all over the place. You focus that attention on you, and then you can walk and talk, tell people about the features of the neighborhood. Here's the shopping, here's the whatever it is. And then literally as you're walking around, you can use this gimbal and it keeps it stable, okay? So it really is a great tool. And the last one to consider is what they call, and that's a brand name, Ulanzi, but it's a rig. It literally is a square handle that will hold the phone, hold a microphone, and hold a light. Okay, so you have the audio, the video, and the lighting all in one place, and it keeps everything stable in one particular environment. So again, I'm going to send you links so you can look at these. That one I don't have. I haven't invested in that one yet. I'm going to. Because it's really cheap. I mean, you could, and the one that it has here for $16 is a very sturdy plastic, but it is plastic. And you can get a metal one and it's about $50. So, you know, depending on what you want to invest in. But anyway, again, another very powerful tool. And the thing that makes it effective, you guys, is the fact that, again, you can attach a microphone to it as a place to attach a microphone, as a place to attach a light, special piece of lighting equipment if you need it, and it also has a place to secure your phone. Okay, so so now let's go to the last one of those, that AVL, audio video lighting. Okay, here's the lighting part of it. Using good lighting techniques is going to make it easier for you to be able to tell your video story and keep people engaged and involved with your video a lot longer. So first thing to consider, folks, is the very best source of light we have. It's free, daylight. And plus, it gives you the added benefit of vitamin D. It's a great source of vitamin D. So, but be careful, like I was talking about earlier, about too much direct light, and be mindful of shadows that are going to take away from your story. You know, you need to be very careful with that, because those shadows on your face, on whatever, it might be on the subject itself that you're shooting, you know, who knows what it is, but if those shadows may distract from the story itself. Okay, so be careful when you're in daylight, specifically outside in daylight, you know, make sure that you're paying attention to that. Okay, the next thing is inside. Windows near sunlight is really some of the very best, because it's subdued. You have the benefit of sunlight because it is the best source of light, but you're not going to have all of those issues that you're going to be dealing with outside with shadows. Okay, so that's another one to consider when you're inside, is if you have windows near your desk, or if you're just going to be shooting, you know, shoot near you have a window that's got good sunlight coming through there. Okay. All right. So other sources of to light your subject. First one is dimmable audio or video lights. This is one, I'm going to hold it up here, you guys. This is one that I have, and I'll just show you. You can kind of annoying right now, but it's dimmable, so I can adjust the amount of light that's coming through there. But that's one that I can literally take it and attach it. It's got one of those pieces at the bottom where I can attach this to a tripod. I can attach it to any of these other tools that I have and give myself another source of light. Okay. So that's one of the ones that I will, and this is the one that I got for $20. Okay. So this dimmable video light. The next one is to consider what's called a selfie light ring. And literally what it is, you guys, is it's a ring. I didn't get mine out. I should have, but it's a ring that's about this big around, and it attaches right to your phone. So you can automatically have a source of light right on your phone. Now, I will tell you, the only thing I don't necessarily like about it is with my glasses, it causes causes a reflection off the glasses, so that you see these little white dots, because that's what it is. That ring has these little white lights all the way around it. But for those of you that don't have glasses, it's not going to be much of an issue. Some of you may have glasses and you go, that doesn't bother me. So I don't use it as much as I probably should. But it's a great source. It's very inexpensive. Again, it gives you a source of light that you can have anytime you want. Okay, so selfie light ring. Again, I'll send a link. You guys will have that. The last one is really to consider when you start creating a studio environment. Okay. I saw this. Let me take a look and see what Julie said. I have a Yuntic brand tripod that comes with a detachable light ring. It holds your iPhone. It has a Bluetooth clicker. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yeah, very good. No, that's a great tool. If you would, not sure how we can do that. You know what? I'll do a search for that, Julie, because I'll have the information that you have there, and I'll do a search for that on Amazon, and then I'll include it in the what I'm going to send out to you guys with those links. So that way, but I appreciate you sharing that, because yeah, any of those kinds of tools can be very effective, you guys. So like I said, a softbox lighting kit. For those of you that don't know what those are, you've seen them before. If you've ever gone to Walmart or Sears or any of those kind of places where they're doing portraits, family portraits, that kind of thing. Those softbox lighting kits are what they normally are, like studio lighting kits, but they're relatively inexpensive. It's $38, and you can, for one. Okay, so that's one thing to consider. But what it does is it creates a very strong source of light, but it softens it because it has like a shell around it, like an umbrella around it, if you will, that keeps it from being direct light. Okay, so let's see here. Good. Thank you, Cindy, for doing that. So I appreciate you sharing that. So that's why we can make sure we get more of this information out to everybody. So again, you guys, and any other tools that you're using, please share them on this, because one of the things that I will tell you, when we download the information to create this video that Cindy just talked about in the chat box, when we download this thing, we also have access to every bit of information that was in the chat box. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Look at that. Perfect. Very good. I really appreciate it. Good. Awesome. There's the link, you guys. So the last piece that we're going to talk about with as far as tools, you guys, is editing programs. And these are just the ones that I know that are, there's tons of them out there. There's some that you can spend an incredible amount of money on. Okay. So here's some of the ones that are some of the freebies. Number one, if you have a Mac or you use an iPhone, either one of those, iMovie is really one of the simplest and best video editing software programs out there. Natasha, you're saying that link didn't work. Oh, shoot. Okay. We'll give it another try when we send this back out to you guys. I'm sorry about that. Okay. So getting back to this then, the iPhone, then the iMovie is the simplest and it's the best one. The next one is Windows. The Windows, version of that might be what's called Movie Maker. Okay. And that's a free version as well. I will tell you, it's one of those, you guys, where Windows has had that come in and out of availability several different times. So you may find out, this is one where I didn't check it in the last couple of days, whether Movie Maker is even available anymore, but so you'll have to check on your own. But here's a couple of others to consider. Okay. VSDC, there's a free version that they have of it, and they have an upgraded pro version that is $20. VSDC is a software program that is downloaded from the internet. So it's an internet-based program. You download it, so then you own it. Okay. that you install it on your computer, and it's used for either, you can use it either for iOS or your Mac phone, or with Windows, so even with PC as well, okay? The next one, and this is the one that I use, you guys, is Adobe Premiere Elements 2019. Cost me about $100, okay? So I like it. It takes a little bit to learn. There is a bit of a learning curve, so you want to make sure that you're taking a look at some of the videos that are available on YouTube on how to use these tools. And Adobe Premiere Elements has a number of them. They have a number of them right on the program itself that will help you with how to use them, okay? So, but it really is. It's a great video editing software. And here's the thing that I would tell you. With all of this stuff, you guys, you're capturing this information. You're capturing all of this content that you're going to use to create 4 good quality, high quality videos. The next piece, and really the most time consuming part of this a lot of times, is the editing process. And you want to get comfortable with this stuff. Get one that you feel comfortable with, that you know you can use, and know how to, and learn how to use it well. Okay, because that really is one of the more important parts about it. You're going to have very few times where you're going to be able to just shoot a video and know, boom, it's good to go. Let's run with this thing. The next one is one that's called Corel Video Studio. Okay, that one is about $80. I have not used that one, but I know that looking at the reviews of it, sounds like it's a pretty effective one. It sounds like it's probably as effective as the Adobe Premiere Elements. So another one, and this is probably the creme de la creme. Actually, there is one that's a little bit better, you guys, and that is Adobe Premiere, not Adobe Premiere Elements, but Adobe Photoshop Premiere. Okay, so that is the heightened of it, but that one is pretty expensive. It's actually about I think it's like $80 or $90 a month. So it's an expensive subscription. But Apple Final Cut is one that you can download that you can use for iOS and Apple phones. And it's about $300. So it's a little pricier, but it has a lot more tools available to you that for those of you that are, once you start really getting into this and you realize, okay, I want to make that kind of investment, I would consider some of these other editing software programs because they give you a lot more tools that you can use to add to the quality of what your video marketing, okay? So the last one to consider, guys, and any of you that have been to any of my seminars know this, are familiar with Canva. It's an online graphic design software program. And believe it or not, I've actually created some simple videos from that. Now, what they are is you can't put a lot of sound involved with them. You can inject that into there if you need to. But the bottom line is what it is that's a slideshow type of situation. So, okay. That's it, you guys. Those are the tools. I know I kind of ran, hopefully I didn't run through this too quickly. You know how to reach me. So through this, but the last part of this, you guys, that's really important is once you've started creating video, the last part of this piece really is now using it as a marketing tool. Okay. So here's a couple things you want to consider. If you've created this video, okay, so what do I do with it now? All right. Here's what you want to do. First of all, if you haven't got a YouTube channel, do that today. I would do it today. If you have a Gmail account, you have a YouTube channel, you just haven't gone there and claimed it yet. So go on to YouTube. And the best way to learn how to do this, you guys, this would take a whole nother session. The best way to do it is go on YouTube and say, how do I create a YouTube channel? And YouTube will tell you. So that's really the best way to do that. But do that immediately because it's a great place because you can then take these videos that are huge, enormous files. Okay. This one today, quite honestly, you guys, when I get ready to download this thing, this is going to be probably about somewhere between 40 and 60 gigabytes. They're huge files. You could never send that in an email if you wanted to. Okay. What YouTube allows you to do then is not only have that channel, not only have a place to keep your content, but also create a small, 8 to 15 character bit of that you can then attach to an email, and it makes it a lot smaller and easier to transport and move around and send to people and share with people. But there's so many other tools that you can do with the YouTube channel, you guys. It's just incredible. So definitely take a look at doing that. And consider this. When people are looking, if they want to go find a video, a lot of people go to YouTube because they know that's literally what it is. It's video content, okay? So That's another thing to consider when you're doing this. It's getting the YouTube channel. The other thing is uploading this video, because all of the different social media platforms allow for video. So you want to do it. If you have Twitter, put it on Twitter. If you're, most of you, probably all of you are on Facebook, make sure you're uploading your videos onto Facebook. It's another place to make sure your audience that you've developed there is getting a chance to see what you're doing and what you're talking about and how you are marketing your business. Okay. So definitely use these tools, use those social media tools. The other one is find a way, make sure that you know how to embed or put your videos onto your website, because like we said earlier, 88% people they're more likely to spend time, they're going to spend more time on a website that has video than those that don't. Okay. So make sure you're incorporating that into your website environment. So with that, that's it, you guys. Hopefully you got some good stuff out of this. There's some really good information. By the way, like I said, I will be sending you links to these different tools. Okay. So Cindy has a couple things that she would like to finish this presentation up with today. So Cindy, let me go ahead and turn the microphone over to you.
I think I'm there. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. You have a screen in here you can share with me so everybody can stay on and hear this.
So I need to stop sharing.
Yeah, there we go. Is everybody on? I don't know. It looks like it.
We still got
and
everybody.
Give me my little screen.
Okay.
Well, anyway, I'll just go ahead and tell everybody. We have, there's a few of you on that are in coaching right now with us and you love it. But the coaching program is going to change. You can stay in the old one or you can start with the new one. The new one only has 10 initial spots because of its unbelievable program. We finally realized in doing coaching that was affordable for agents that agents truly need accountability. I think anybody does, but I've been an agent for like my whole adult life, so I have to single out that industry. So we decided to do an amazing thing. We're kind of shaking in our boots because of the time it's going to take with each one of you. But we are going to offer our new program starting today. We're going to take 10 new people on. It is a program that gives you unlimited 15-minute one-point phone calls, unlimited email help, and we have a agent education center that is loaded with training and support to help you with things like what Dave just did here. So if that is of interest to you, I'm going to make you go to cindybishoptraining.com. I'll see how interested you are. Go to coaching when you get there, and then watch the video. Click on the link to go to the next page. There's a tremendous promo there that gives you more than 50% off. It's a coaching program that's like private coaching that's about $83 a day, and you sign up for a year. If you sign up now, though, you're going to get 2 extra months for the same price. People that are in coaching right now, if you're transitioning, just email me, and I will help you transition because you would have already paid this month's fee, and I'll tell you what you need to do. But I have 10 spots, guys. It's very accountable. So that means that Dave and I and Gary are going to be very busy figuring out how to have the time to give you the best care. And I think we have the best coaching program in the industry. It's very hands-on, and it helps agents that are motivated. I can't emphasize that enough. You have to be motivated. I can't bring that to the table. So that's it. We'll see how many of you jump on cindybishoptraining.com to coaching, and it's pretty easy. Just follow the instructions, and there's a code in there if you want to sign up now. Again, it will stop you once 10 people have done it. So if it isn't working for you, you can email me. I'll help you. But if it's already filled, I just won't be able to do it until the next time we offer it. Okay, because we're being a little conservative about this because of the time it takes. All right, so that's it. We hope we can help you. We've got our upcoming sales performance event coming up on the 19th of November. And you're welcome to sign up for that at cindybishopworldwide.com to upcoming events and then to business building. And also, don't forget the next webinar. All the webinars coming up are on there as well under webinars. All right, Dave. So I guess that's it. We'll see.
That was great. Awesome.
Check us out.